reports, types of ALVs, and the process. How can we make use of the ALV in our programming? So these ALV reports are basically based on the concept of function modules. So that is the reason why I have taken almost 2 to 3 sessions on the concepts of function module, like how do we create a function group, how do we create a function module, and I explained you about the different ways. Different ways of using the parameters in the function module, like changing parameters, the tables parameters, export parameters and import parameters, and also the concept of exceptions. How do we handle exceptions using the function modules? Right. So in today's session, we'll look into the ALV reports. So ALV report are basically like reports only, but the only difference between the classical way of output and the ALV way of output is entirely different. in normal classical reporting, up to now what you have done is, like, you're fetching the data from the database table and you're looping through that internal table and you're writing the data. You're using the write statements and printing the data in the output. So if you have in that output, generally in that output, I'm talking about so far whatever the data that you are printing in the output. When you're printing that in the output, you don't have any option of making the data change dynamically on the output. It means when you have some data displaying in the screen, you don't have any scope of arranging the data either in ascending order or descending order. You cannot select any column, and again you cannot go for sorting the data on fly. So that options are not available basically in the classical reports concepts. So that will be a big difference. I mean, that is one of the example that will be a big difference when we compare ALV reports with respect to the classical reports. So ALV stands for ABAP List Viewer. Okay, so it is generally a tool given to us by SAP for displaying the reports. And when you see the report output, they are more user friendly. They're more user friendly. You will feel the difference when you see the output when you compare, and you can compare the same with respect to the normal classical report output. Okay, so what are the major features that ALV report provides us? Better formatting. So better formatting means we have different column headers, like we have the different columns, and the column headers, you have an option for colors, you have an option for sorting and filtering. So all these are the different formatting features that ALV can provide you on the output. This can be provided to you dynamically. Like you have many options on the output. You have different icons available in the output, and whichever the way you want, you can go with respect to that kind of formatting. And the next one is the built-in functionalities. Of course, this column header, colors, sorting, filtering, etc. things are also the part of the built-in functionalities. And apart from that, the other functionalities or the other options you have is like downloading the data. Downloading the data. You can download the data. Generally, what you used to do in your normal classical report, in a normal classical report, you are generating the data into the internal table, and if you have to download that report, what you are doing, you are using GUI underscore download function module. You pass the internal table to the GUI download function module, and you provide the path. So to the respective path, the file will be downloaded. Okay, so these functionalities you need to explicitly handle it in the normal way of reporting. But when we talk about ALV report, this functionality is built in. You have this functionality readily available. You just have to use it if you need it. And we have different, I mean, when you download the data, it's not only the Excel, you have different formats. Like you, if you want in a .txt or if you want in a .csv file, so like in different file formats, the tool will make you the data to be available in the respective format that you are expecting to be. And apart from that, you can calculate the totals, you can calculate the subtotals. Yes, if most of you might have an idea of Excel, like in the Excel sheet, when we put the some price, etc., in one column, and you will be able, if you write a formula at the end of that column for calculating the total, I mean, for calculating the totals, the way how it looks like is similar the way how it looks like in ALV also. You have an option to calculate the totals. If you just click on that option, you will see the totals at the bottom of that respective column. So that can be seen, and no need for you to explicitly handle this in your program. Okay, so likewise, you have different functionalities or features or formatting options available, and we'll see all those as we advance in the concepts. Okay. In ALV, there are different types of reports. There are mainly 4 types of ALV reports in our ABAP language. So one is ALV list, ALV grid, ALV blocked, ALV hierarchical. Okay, so when we talk about ALV list, the ALV list output looks similar to the way how you print the data in the output in the normal report. So if you see this, so this is how the output looks like. Okay, you see here the column names, and you can see the horizontal and vertical bars, and you can see the data printed on the output. The data printed on the output looks like similar to the way how you are printing the data in your normal programming. The way how you write on the internal table, you loop on the internal table and end loop. In between loop and end loop, you will use the write statement, like write work area hyphen field. So when you use that statement, you generally get the data printed on the output. That output and this output looks very much similar. Very much similar. But what is that major difference is, you see the formatting, the coloring is there. The coloring will come automatically here, and you see the horizontal lines, vertical lines are handled internally by ALV list only. You don't need to write all those things. So this can be a major difference. This is how the output generally looks like in case of ALV. Okay, so here, if you put your cursor on this material number, on the top you will find some options like sorting in ascending order, descending order. So likewise, if you select that, the content of this will be like changing. The content of this will be changing. Okay, so this is how the output looks like, right? And for using this ALV list, the function module we use is reuse ALV list display. So this is the function module that we will be using in our program for displaying the data in the output. Reuse ALV list display. So this you have to remember. You have to remember this. You need to remember these function modules. And also this is important in case of the interview perspective, because definitely there will be a question on ALVs, because most of the times we work only on, most of the times we work on ALV reports. Most of the times we work on the ALV reports. So when it is ALV reports, there it can be ALV list display, it can be ALV grid, it can be ALV blocked, or it can be ALV hierarchy. Okay, it can be anything. So definitely there will be a question on this. So you have to remember the function module names. So reuse ALV list to display. This is the function module that is associated with ALV list. So this is how the data looks like. So this is an example. Okay, this is an example, just an example for reference for you to show how the data looks like in ALV list. Fine. We'll look into the ALV grid. If you see this in ALV grid, just I'll go back a step. You can see here how this data looks like. You don't have option to you can see this, right? You can see here, you see material number is there, but you see everything is like 000. You don't see the last number. Okay, you cannot expand this column. You cannot expand this column. Something is getting truncated over here. So you cannot expand this column. Generally, you cannot expand this column here in this ALV list. But the same thing when you talk about ALV grid, this ALV grid similar to the Excel sheet. The Excel sheet, how the Excel sheet looks like is the way how this ALV grid also looks like. And you see if something is getting truncated, you can place your cursor on this vertical bar and you can drag it to right. So you can adjust your columns manually. You can expand it, you can reduce it, you can expand, or you can decrease, you can increase, or you can decrease the columns. Okay, so you can, if you want to hide the column, right click on it and you have an option to hide the column, freeze the column. You can remove the column from this space here. You have such kind of options. So this looks more user friendly when compared to all the other ALV reports, and this is the major, like 99% we will use always ALV grid report whenever any report is given to you for any kind of the development. By default we will use ALV grid. Okay, so we will do all the corresponding coding relevant to fetching the data from different tables, different filter conditions or conditions. We complete all those items, and finally we will have a internal table ready with the data which is ready to be published in the output. That internal table which is ready to publish in the output, we publish that directly on the ALV grid. We directly publish on the ALV grid. So this is how it looks like, and the same features like a sorting, editing the column. You have even option to edit the columns. You can change the colors. Okay, you can do alternate settings to each and every row. All those options are available with respect to the ALV grid. And the function module that we use here for ALV grid is reuse ALV grid display. We use underscore ALV underscore grid underscore display. So this is the function module that we will be using if at all you have to publish your data onto the ALV grid. Right. So this is how the ALV grid output looks like, and the function module associated with ALV grid is this reuse ALV grid display. Next. So this is the ALV blocked. We call it as blocked ALV. So this is like if you want to display the data between two different tables, like you have the data header data and like item data. If you want to display such kind of combinations, then you will be using this blocked ALV. You can see here, the first set of data here is shown with respect to one table, and the other set of data here is shown from the other table, but there is a key combination. If you see here, this is the key combination here is your material number. Okay, the material number is the key combination. Corresponding to that material number, you will see the items over here. So if you remember, we did work on the interactive reporting. When you click on that respective column in the basic list, it takes you to the secondary list. So for displaying all the items, so it is like similar, but here what you can see is you'll be seeing the item data at the bottom here. So blocked ALV looks like this, and the function module used for blocked ALV is reuse ALV block list display. Okay, so ALV, we use ALV block list display. This is the function module that you will be using for ALV blocked. So most of the times, talking about in real-time environments, generally, when I'm talking about my experience, so far I did not use this with any client. And they never proposed, or they never proposed, or even I never proposed at any point of time such kind of reports. We always proposed only the ALV grid because it has more features like Excel. They can expand the columns, they can decrease the size of the columns, and they can do some kind of calculations. They can, the calculations also can be possible even here, but that looks more friendly when compared to this. So ALV grid is always 100% friendly when user friendly when compared to the other reports. Okay, so in this case, ALV blocked, we reuse ALV block list display function module, right? Next, so coming to the ALV hierarchical. So in this, this is also like you are displaying the data in terms of the parent and child relationship. Okay, this is also like displaying the data with respect to the parent and child relationship. And you can expand it. Suppose you can see here on the top you can see here material, created on material, type material, group, base, unit. These are all the fields associated with respect to the parent, the data for the parent row. And at the bottom, if you see material, plant, MRP controller, MRP type, this is the other set of columns. This is for the child. This is for the child. You can see that table which has both the parent and the child. That particular entry which has the parent and the child relationship will be displayed over here. If you see here, first two, you can see here this part. You can see here this row is having this kind of feature like a parent and a child. You see this? The first row, if you see, it has a different set of data. The second row, if you see, this has a different set of data. Okay, different set of data. So it means the first row here belongs to the parent table, and the second row belongs to here the child table. So the output looks similar to this in case of the ALV hierarchy, right? So you can see few of the rows. If you see this one, this row, and this row, and this row, and this row is closely associated with the parent and child. If there is no child record, then that particular portion will be empty over here. You can see here in the first in this particular entry, you are able to see only the first record. The first set of fields. You can see material, created on is nothing but the date field. You can see the date, the material type, material group, the base unit of measure. So these details you are able to see it. So it means this data corresponds to the header section. If there is no item data, that will be empty. That is not displayed over here. Something there is an header and item data, it will be displayed like this. Okay, and the function module used over here is reuse ALV underscore list underscore display. So this is the reuse ALV hierarchical list display. So this is the function module that will be used corresponding to the ALV hierarchical. So here, when we talk about the parent and the child, both of them should have a common key. There must be a common key. Common key can be in this example, it is like an example of the material number. It is a material number is a common key in between both parent and child relationship over here, and there must be a common key. So with respect to the common key, there must be a common data existing in between the two tables. So this is how the output looks like. In case of hierarchical, the ALV hierarchical, we call it as a hierarchical sequential ALV as well, right? So that is the reason why you can see here HIERSEQ. So it means hierarchical sequential ALV. Okay, so this is about the hierarchical sequential ALV. Fine. So how do we bring? So when we are talking about all these reports, but what is the process that will be followed in ALV to display the data in this format? So basically, we have something called field catalog. This is a new concept in ALV. We call it as the field catalog. So field catalog is like, you can see here in this example, you will have many columns. You have many columns over here. When we talk about field catalog, so it means catalog which contains different fields. The catalog which contains different fields. Hopefully, like you know what is the meaning of the catalog, right? So it is like the catalog can be like a library, simply speaking about, okay, which can have the relevant data or the contents. Similarly, it will have some different kinds of templates. Generally, in catalog, when we go for any kind of design, some kind of work. Let us suppose you are trying to have some kind of design in your interiors for your home. For let us talk about the furniture. You'll get some. You will have a designs. You'll have different designs. We call them as catalogs. Okay, so in that catalog you can see different kinds of designs. So you will choose the similar way in when we talk about that with respect to our ALV, it is called as a field catalog. So this field catalog will contain the fields, the fields which we need to display in the output. The fields which we display in the output are contained in this field catalog. So in this field catalog, you will tell what is the field that has to display and what is the position. What is the position? It should be in the first position or second position or third position. What is the position it has to display? And how the text has to display in the output? What should be the column name in the output? So likewise, you have many properties available with respect to the field catalog, and we will build the field catalog. For every ALV, we will build the field catalog first. This is very important to us because end of the day, you are going to show the data in the output, and you will decide in advance what must be the fields in my output. So that is how the field catalog comes into the picture, and it has its own structure. It has its own structure for defining the field catalog. So that I'll explain you in the program. Okay, so that's about field catalog. And generally, like ALV reports can be handled in two different ways. One is by the way of the function modules, like in AC37, you will see ALV reports. I mean, the ALV related function modules are available. We call that as the function module approach. We call that as the function module approach. Also, ALV reports can be populated using object oriented approach. We call that as classes, ALV class. Okay, so ALV class, it means the transaction code is SC24 for the class. So in SC24, you can go and see the class name. So it is like a CL GUI ALV grid. CL means like class, GUI ALV grid is the class name. Okay, so using this class also you can display the data in the output. So when topic comes about the object-oriented ABAP programming, we'll also have an example of this ALVs. We'll see that time. But now it is like we'll try to display in the ALVs in the function module approach. Okay, so field catalog is actually mandatory for you because without that you cannot populate the data, because you should have something relevant to display the data in the output. There must be some fields information to show in the output. Okay, so that is about the field catalog. Right. So there are some key parameters in ALV, like what we have seen in the custom function modules or the standard function modules. There are some parameters. Okay. So these are all the different parameters. Those are available in the which are associated with the ALV. Like if you see the callback program, it means it is our program name, which is actually currently running. Structure name means this is the structure where you will provide your details, where it has that fields, which are the fields you want to display in the output. You will just provide the name of that structure. It means all your fields will be part of your structure, the structure name you will provide. Field catalog means, yes, I told you now about what is that information that you want to display in the output. We will populate that also. IT sorting criteria, whether you want to display, whether you want to sort the fields, what fields you have to sort, you will provide that also. And coming to the events, like the events you have in classical reports, we also have events in ALV reports also. We will see that in the next session. Okay, if it is associated with the events, then we will handle that with respect to the events. And when you talk about the layout, like the formatting of the data on the output, like you want to show the data in the same way or similar way or a different way. For example, first row will be shown in one color, second row will be shown in another color, like we call it as zebra format. Like you know how the zebra lines at the traffic signals looks like, similar way we can also show the data on the ALV report. Okay, the next to filter conditions, you can also apply filters. You can explicitly mention the filter fields on which field you have to filter the data. That explicitly you can mention it. So these are all the different parameters that is available. And remember, not every parameter is mandatory. That which is mandatory, we will look into it, and that which is required for us. For example, I want filter. Let us suppose I want to apply some kind of filters. Then I will go for using this filter, IT filter parameter. I want to have some events for my ALV reporting. I want some kind of events to be handled. Okay. In such case, I will try to populate the events internal table and pass it to the ALV. So that is the reason I'm saying not every parameter is important here, but that parameter which is mandatory, you will definitely take care of it. That which is mandatory, you have to take care of it. If something is mandatory and you are not passing it through your program when you run goes to runtime error. Goes to runtime error. We call it as the dump. We call it as dump. I'll show you that as well, taking an example. So this is how few parameters looks like. But not only this, there are many. But we will only focus on the main parameters. And coming to the next part, when you have to handle ALV, we have a type group. We have a type group called SLIS. This is very important to us. Also, point in the interview point of view. Also, this is very important to us. SLIS. This list is the type group, or we call it as a type pool. We call it as a type pool. This is a type pool. Type pool contains the standard data types and constants which are part of the ALV. It means we have a group designed or defined by SAP, and that group we will explicitly mention in our program. You remember, we have declared some includes in our program. They are called as a top includes. That is, they are called as the top include. If you go and refer back your programs, when I started modularizing the program, I started the first include in our program is the top include. What is that? The top include contains? It contains all the global declarations, like the types it has constants, it has internal tables, it has some global variables. So all the declarations that we are going to use, all the variables which we are going to use in our program are declared globally, and the content of that include we are using in our program. Anywhere when something is declared globally, you can use it anywhere in the program. Similar to that, keep in mind about the global declaration. Similar to that, SLIS is a kind of type pool which is a global declaration given to us by SAP. Especially this SLIS is a type group associated for using the ALV functionality. So keep in mind, when we are using ALV function modules, when we want to have our report generated with ALV output, the first and the primary thing that we need to do is we need to bring this. We need to bring SLIS into our program. If you observe here, these are few lines from the program. You can see here, I said explicitly type hyphen pools SLIS. Type hyphen pools SLIS. It means when you bring this in your program, anything which is available in this SLIS type group, you can declare it. You can see here. This is sliss underscore t underscore field catalog underscore ALV. This is one of the declaration corresponding to the field catalog. Okay, if you want to define a field catalog, you have to bring this structure into your program, and this structure is internally available in this list. Internally available in the list. So that is the reason why you are bringing this type pools list into your program. Okay, it nothing but you are trying to load before you are using some content of list. You are trying to load it. When you try to load it, that will be available in your program in the runtime environment, and all these references will be working with respect to the loading of this list into your program. So this is the primary thing that we will do when we start working on ALVs. Okay, right. So when we talk about the field catalogs, so these are the different field catalogs. See, as I told you, like if you see here in the example which I gave you about the parameter list, like the field catalog, the sort, events, layout, and filter, these are all the different parameters part of the ALV. So for every parameter, there is a field associated field catalog. You can see here field catalogs list t field cat ALV. This is a table type. Okay, this looks like a table type. List field cat underscore ALV. This is a line type. Line type means this is like a work area. I mean a single record. Table type means what? Multiple records. Okay, similar for the layout. You can see list layout ALV. Okay, and for the sorting, you can see list t sort info underscore ALV. For events, list t event. So it means if I have to populate the events in my ALV, then I have to use this type in my program. If I have to use sorting in my ALV, I need to declare this list t sort info ALV in my program. For layout, I should declare this. For field catalog of line type, it means a single record, I will declare this. If it is multiple records, I will declare this. It means I will fill this field catalog, append this field catalog to the internal table. Simple. Okay, because I am going to have more than one field. So that is the reason why I'll declare this work area and append it to the internal table. Okay, so this is very important. And you see here everywhere in the type name, you can see the first four characters belongs to sliss. Everywhere it is like sliss, and sliss. It means what? This belongs to the type pool called sliss. So it means you need to bring that using the statement called, the keyword called type pools sliss into your program. Right? Fine. So let's let's look into the program. There are some, there is an example already designed on all these ALV reports. Let me show you that piece of code. Right. So this is the program. You can see GCR underscore ALV underscore reports is the program that is being used here for your ALVs. And you see this is a type pools list. So the very first attempt what I'm doing in my program, apart from these tables, I'm trying to use a type pools list. So where is this available? If you go to the data dictionary SC11, go to the transaction code SC11, you can see here type group. You see here the type group option. Put your list and click on display. Click on display. When you click on display, you can see list short description. It's in Germany. Okay, go to attributes. Who designed it? It is done. It is created by SAP. Right. The package name. You see the package name. Package name is list. What is the original language? D means what? Germany. Now go to the source code. Here you can see your. You can see here types. They created this list underscore list underscore type of 1 type N. Sliss char 1 type C. Sliss text 40 type C. So these are all the these are the types. We call it as types. And these are also some types. And you see here accessibility like types. Okay. So if you double click on this, you see there are some structures available over here. There are some predefined structures. Structures are already created. Okay, I will show you this when we start discussing on the data dictionary concept. These are very easy, and there are already structures created, and those structures are used in this list group. Right, everything is like referring to this. It means for this structure they are referring to this list. So likewise, if you see field catalog, list underscore add underscore field catalog. See, for the field catalog, structure for additional field cat. So if you want to bring field catalog into your program, will use this. You see what is this? List underscore t underscore add underscore field cat. Right? So this field cat, this type you will use in your program. Generally, if you want to use it. If you want to bring, you will use such kind of the structure into your program. Okay, so everywhere you will see the different types available here. See, the name itself says it's a type. When it is a type, you will see everything here types only. You don't see anything with the keyword called data. Look here, type group means you will have these different types declared, and you are grouping all these types into a single unit. You are giving a name. Here the name is list. Likewise, if you want to create your own type group, your custom type group, also you can create it. In that custom type group, you can create your own types. You can create your own types. It means if I go to an example of a program, okay, so this is the same program, right? In the same program, if you observe here, if I go to the top include, look here, what is there here? These are types, correct? Types, begin of ty underscore mara, end of mara. The same thing, you can copy it. You can create your own type group here. You can create your own type group. You can put that. You can put this declaration. You can put this declaration. These two declarations, you can put it. You can put it into your own type group. So I advise you, you try this when you are doing this program. Try to create a type group. So now, I mean, what you can do here, I will say this is like Z some TYP. Use the type group name as Z TYP. Click on create. So somebody has already defined it. Click on create. It will ask you for some short text. New type group. Okay. Click on save. It will ask you for package name. Again, click on save. It will ask you for the transport request details. So provide your transport request details. Okay. So now you see, this is the type group they are seeing. Now I copy all these contents and I put it here. Okay. So TYMRC, these things, and activate it. There are some errors. Let us see. All names of the objects called ZTY pin in the current type pool must begin with the prefix TY ZTY pin. Okay. So what it is saying is, sorry. When you copy this, so it is saying that you need to have every of your objects starting with that. Okay, so it means it should start with that structure name. I mean the type pool name. That is what it is asking. So in this way you can design, guys. What I'm saying is you can design in this way. Okay, you can design in this way. You can activate it, and the same thing you can use it in your program. When you come to this part, right, in the type pools here, you can also use your type pool name like this. Okay, you can also try to use your type pool name like this. So the declarations part goes into this type pool which you have created. Okay, so this is an example. You can try it later. Okay, so this is how SAP has done, and that is what I'm explaining now here in this case. Fine. So let's go into the further topics. So that is what the corresponding to this list. So let us see in our program what are the things which we have used in our to handle this situation of ALVs. So in this program, as I told you, like we will first define this type pools list, and in the top include I am using the declaration, the types I created for Mara, I have taken some fields over here, and from Marcy table, I have taken some fields over here. I have taken some fields over here from the Marcy table, and I created the internal table for Marcy, work area for Marcy, created the work area for Mara, created the internal table for Mara. So these are all simple things so far what you are doing. And apart from that, you see field catalog. When you see field catalog, what I'm saying, I am referring to this structure slis underscore t underscore field cat underscore ALV. Let us see where where is this available. If you go to our type group, if you go to the type group called slis, just try to search for that. Look here, here it is. You see types slis underscore t underscore field cat underscore ALV, type slis field cat ALV. It means this is the final thing which is available in the slis. We are trying to use it. We are trying to use it. Okay, and this is linked to this one again, slis field cat ALV. And if you see this slis field cat ALV, okay, this slis field cat ALV, it is this slis field cat ALV is this. Now click on this, it will take you to the structure. So begin of, end of. In this slis field cat ALV, there are again two includes. There are two types are there here. Okay, so if you click on this, it has again internally some more types. Again, if you click on this, you see there are different fields available over here. There are different fields available over here. We will use which is required to us. You can see here the row position, column position, what should be the field name, what is the table name. Okay, so what is the key field, what is the symbol, whether it should be a checkbox or not, whether you should have a sign assigned or not, like and whether you want to do any sum of that particular column, if you want to do some summation on that, how much should be the output length, what should be the length of that text, the field length of the text, the column name it should display. So likewise, there are many things which you can navigate into it. Okay, so when you try to start your coding, just navigate into it first. Don't directly jump into SC38 ABAP editor and start putting the code in there. You try to explore this. Just try to explore what is actually available over here. So that is what using this list I declared an internal table. You see this? This is slis field cat ALV, right? This is slis field cat ALV. Okay, so this is type slis field cat ALV occurs 1. Look here. This is occurs 1. It means when you say occurs 0 or occurs 1, this will become an internal table. This will become an internal table. Okay, occurs, when you say occurs 0 or occurs 1, it becomes an internal table. So it means this is slis t field cat ALV is of type internal table, means this is a table type. This is a table type. So that is the reason why, as it being a table type, I said here data ITF cat type slis t field cat ALV. This is already a table type. Okay, it is already a table type. That is the reason why I am only using type. I am not using here type table of or type standard table of. I am not using that because this is already a table. You are referring to a table. Very simple. Okay, you are referring to the table, means table type, right? So I declared the internal table and I am declaring the work area. What is the work area? Work area can be, you can define the work area from your internal table. You can say work area like line of your internal table. What is internal table? ITF cat. When you say like line of, it means this become a single record for this internal table. So this is for field catalog. This is for field catalog. Similarly, for ALV blocked, we have a field catalog defined separately. I have defined separately. I mean, the structure is again same, okay, but I defined separately for ALV blocked. And coming to the layout, if it is layout, I am using the slis layout ALV. For events, I am using the slis t underscore events. Okay, slis t underscore event. If you click on this slis t event, so this is a slis t event, right? And you see this, what are the types here? slice underscore ALV underscore event. It means that this will become an internal table type. This will become a work area. The same thing is being declared over here. You can see here, this is like internal table and this is the work area. Okay, so that's about how we define some of these structures from the slice type group, guys. So this is important to us. So what next we have done in the selection screen? In the selection screen, so it looks like this. Let me execute. So you will provide the material number details over here, and you will select ALV list or ALV grid or ALV block. You will select this. You will select the type of the radio button. If you select ALV list, you will display. You will get the display output in that respective way. Okay. So for example, I am giving some 37 to 91. I am displaying. I'm selecting ALV list. I click on execute button. You see, it looks like this. Okay, it looks in this way. You see, the data is getting truncated. It means the field length is not correctly adjusted. We'll adjust that as well. So this is how the output looks like in the ALV list. Same thing, if I select ALV grid, execute it, you see that the value is getting truncated. I can adjust this. You can see, you can adjust this. So this is how the ALV looks like, ALV grid looks like. You can adjust. This is more user friendly when compared to that. And when I select ALV blocked, now click on execute button. So this is how it looks like. The blocked ALV looks like. You see one block of the data is over here, okay, which is like header information, and the other information is present over here. This is like item information. This is how it looks like. The block looks like. Fine. So let me go through this program for the ALV list. How did we define for the ALV list? We'll see that. Okay. So I think the selection screen part is more clear to you. What I did here, I have taken a select options. I have taken the material number. I have taken the material number and radio button group. I have taken 3 radio buttons. I have taken the 3 radio buttons, and in the radio button group, I have taken a list, grid, and block. Okay, so that's about your selection screen looks like. These include for subroutines. We'll come to that part later. Now, come to the next part, get data. This is in the start of selection, I'm writing the get data. So in the get data part, I am executing the, I'm saying, I'm writing the select query. I'm writing the select query. In the select query, I am fetching the data corresponding to the inputs what I am given. Okay, so corresponding to the inputs what I'm giving in the selection screen. If you see this, S underscore Matner is the select options. So I'm fetching the data from these fields from the Mara table into corresponding tables of IT underscore Mara, where Matner in S underscore Matner. Okay, so it means which are the inputs you are giving in the selection screen. I'm trying to pull the data from the database table and putting into IT Mara. I think I already explained here about the corresponding fields of table. Okay, when you are using these fields in non-sequential order, it means which is as per which are not as per the sequence of the table, then you will use it. Okay, so most of the times try to avoid using this. Follow the sequential order as per the order which is given in the table. Make your fields to come in the same way, right? So because this will have some kind of performance issue in larger programs. So just advise to avoid such kind of usage in your select query, right? Fine. So this is about your internal table is filled with the data. So the very first step is we are filling the internal table data. Come on. Next thing is I have a perform here for field catalog. This is for FCAT is for field catalog. Now here what I'm trying to do, you know already I declared the work area for the field catalog. This is the work area. So in this work area, using the work area, I'm saying my first column position I'm saying it as 1. Now what is the field name? I'm saying it as Matner. And what is the table name associated with this field called Matner? What is the internal table you are using? My internal table name is IT underscore Mara. And remember, always everything should be here. See something when you are giving something in quotes, if it is other than numbers, if it is some text, try to give in uppercase. Okay, the field name can be given in uppercase, the tab name can be given in uppercase. This is a selection text for the field. This can be given in lowercase or camel case, up to you. It means This is the text that will display in the output. This is the text that will display in the output. Okay, so you are giving the column position, you are giving the field name, you are giving the tab name, you are giving the selection text. M stands for medium. M stands for medium. So if you go to the field catalog, in this field catalog, if you navigate to the field catalog, right? So just go into this. Here you can see cell text L, cell text M, cell text S. S means short key. M means middle key. L means long key. It means what is that associated here? You can see a S text. Text, it is like char 10th. Char 10. Text M, char 20. Text L, char 40. It means the length of your field, the description what you are showing will be adjusted accordingly, like this. Okay, if you want the length to be very small, the description to be small, it will be like within 10 characters only, you will see the description. If the length is medium, if you are choosing this screen text medium, it is like 20 characters. The length of the field will be adjusted, and you will be see up to 20 characters the description of the field. And if it is L you are giving, it means the length is 40. So what I'm saying, you navigate in this way. Whenever you have some kind of doubt, just navigate from your program to that list structure in this way, so that you will understand it very clearly. Okay, now I'm back. So I'm giving material number, I give it as medium. I can give L, I can give even S also. Right, so this key, it's a key field. Whether you want this maintainer to be a key field or not, you can give that as an X. Whether this is required, it's up to you whether you want to give it or not. Now what I'm doing, after filling this required information, you see here I'm taking only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only the 5 fields I'm taking. There are many fields inside this field catalog structure. There are some more than 100 are there. I'm not taking everything. I'm taking only that which is required to me. That's it. Okay. And you append your work area to your internal table, and you clear your work area, because this is only for field called material number. Similarly, do the same for material type, other field. The column position is 2, and field name is MTRT. The table name is ITMR. So this will remain same. The table name will remain same. Okay, table name remains same, and the column position will change. The field name will change. Your text will change, and if you want this to be the key field, you want it to be a key field or not non-key field, whether you want to it as a key field or not, you can give it or not give it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so when you say emphasize, it means you are giving some kind of output. The output looks in different way. Whether you want this or not, it's up to you. So for the emphasize, you have different codes. You can try with the different codes over here. Okay, so this is, and you are filling the work area. You are appending this to the internal table. Similarly, you are filling the third column with the field MBRSH. You are appending the work area to the internal table, and you are clearing the field catalog. And again, this is 2, this is 3. Now this is the fourth column, and you are giving the field name, you are giving the table name, you are giving the text selection text name for that field, and you are appending that to the internal table. So finally, your internal table will have these records. 4 records will be there in the internal table. It means 4 records associated with respect to the 4 columns will be there in your field catalog, ITFCAT. Okay, so we are first building our field catalog. Building the field catalog is very important. That is what we are doing with respect to this field catalog. So now we are done. We have the data from this get data subroutine. We have the data in the IT underscore data internal table, and it's IT underscore data, IT underscore Mara internal table. Similarly, we have field catalog in IT underscore FCAT internal table. So now 2 tables are ready with us. And what are we trying to do? Now it is the list. We are trying to display first list, let us suppose. So for list, I'm saying my perform as display underscore data, display underscore data. If you go here I'm just calling the function module. So how do you call the function module? Generally, just go to the more, go to pattern, put the standard function module name. You need to select the call function, put the standard function module name, and click on continue. you will get this structure with respect to all the parameters displayed over here. You see this? Most of them are what? Commented. Commented is what? They are optional. Commented are optional. Something which is open like this or mandatory. Something open like this or mandatory. So the same way I try to use this function module for in our case. You see this? Okay. So the same thing I used here. But what I'm doing here, that which is required, I opened it. This used to be comment in the beginning, but I opened this and using callback program. It means after you display the output, when you go back, where it has to go back. So that is what callback program is. What is a callback program? It's the same program. I'm using psi-repeat. It means it will give the current program name. Next, coming to the structure, I underscore structure name. My structure name is what? ty underscore mara. In these types ty underscore mara only, my complete fields are available. So I'm using it as ty underscore mara. And what is the field catalog here? it underscore fcat. And what is the internal table name? You see here, these tables, it underscore mara. So what I'm trying to do, whichever is not required to me, let me remove all those. Okay. You can remove the commented portions, which will definitely confuse you when you in the real-time environment. I use in this way, like whichever is not required. Okay. So if you want to handle the exceptions, you can handle it. You can have your code here. As I told you already, how to handle the exceptions, the program error or other error, you can handle it. So this now looks very simple after removing all the comments. So try to activate your program and you see how it looks like now. So what is that used here? In the reuse ALV list display, I am calling this callback program as SIREP. My structure name is ty underscore mara. My field catalog name is it field fcat. And the data which has is what? it underscore mara. So this is for data. And this is for fields information. Okay. That needs to be displayed in the output. Right? So now I put a breakpoint over here. Now click on execute button. I provide this range of materials. I say ALV list and execute the program. Execute the program. And you see, let us try to identify what is there over here. SIREP ID is your program name. You see this your ALV reports. And you see ITFCAT. If you open this field catalog, and you can see here, these are all the this is the information. See, first row, field name is Matner. Your table name is ITMAR. Second row, my MTRT. Third row, MBRSS. Fourth row, MATKL. You see, table name, table name, table name. So likewise, whichever is required, you have given that information over. You see the table column details. You see this. You gave M, right? Cell text underscore M. Also, you can use cell text underscore else, and if you want cell text underscore L also, you can populate this also. Depending upon the length, it will change. Depending upon the length, it will change. You can give, even you can populate these values as well. Okay. So this is how it looks like in case of the field catalog. Now you see your data. You know the data is already filled. You can see here in the IT Mara. You can see it has how many records are there in this IT Mara. There are 25 records are there. Matner, MTRT, MBRSS, MATK. So what are you trying to do now? This information you are passing to your function model. It will take care of showing the output. You are never bothered about the functionality of reuse ALV list display. You are not bothered about any functionality of showing the data in the output. Your job is you populate the field catalog, you populate the data, pass these details to the function module, and the rest of the functionality it will take care. I'm just executing it, and you see this is how the output looks like. And you look here, just look here. These are all the predefined functionalities. You see, I put my cursor over here. You see this is sort in ascending order. Click on this. The data is changed. Okay, I select this and observe this one. Here you are not able to see, but you see this one. I click on this descending order. You see the changed. if I put over here and say ascending order, you see all AB, all it will come in alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, likewise. And I want in descending order, select it, the descending order you're getting it. You want to filter, select it. You have an option called filter, click on the filter. Now in this, what I want only ROH. Just press F4 over here. Which data you want? I want only ROH. Okay, select it and continue. You will see only ROH data. Now I want to remove the filter. Okay, this one is delete filter. You can delete it. And if you want to set the filter again, yes, you can set the filter. I want only FERT data. Let us suppose. Do that. You will see only the FERT data. And you need to delete the filter. If you want to come back, you just delete the filter. You can delete it. And do you want to data in Excel format? You see spreadsheet. Do you want in spreadsheet? Click on it. You see these are the options available. Your format in HTML, it is available in the. If you can open that in the Office, you can open that in the Excel format. Okay, all these things in different formats you can open it. Direct Excel format is available. And if you want to save this, click on this. It will ask you want in unconverted format or text with tabs or list. So likewise, you will be able to save the data in your on your desktop. If you want to save this data, you can save it. You can explore all these options, guys. You want mail recipient? Do you want it to be sent to any recipient? You can view the details of the recipient. You can view the body of the content, and you can view the email IDs. Okay, it will not go to your email because you are in the SAP inbox. It will not go to your email. So within SAP, you can try this. Within SAP, you can try this. Okay, so likewise, you can see change layout. The layout also can be changed. Now you see how many fields are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these fields are there. You want to change the position, you can change the position. Or do you want something not required? Select it, throw it out. Okay, mandatory fields cannot be hidden. Okay, that's fine. So these are all made as mandatory. Yeah, you can see here something is mandatory here. That is the reason why. So it means you can adjust this. I mean, you can adjust the fields on the layout. Which if you want, you can filter them. I mean, you can close them. I mean, you can hide them over here. You can hide the columns whichever is not actually required for you with respect to the change layout option. You can have that option over here. Okay, you can do that. It means select it and click on this right mark. I mean this arrow mark. You see it comes into the hidden fields. It comes into the hidden fields. When it comes to the hidden fields and click on copy, the new layout will have only 3 fields. The 3 fields will be displayed in the output. So whichever is not required, you can move into the hide, and you can see only the required fields over here. So this is how the functionality is available with respect to ALV. And the explanation will be similar even for ALV grid also. It looks like more or less same. You can see if there are more pages, you can see the first page, you can go to the previous page, you can go to the next page, you can go to the last page. If it is more, the data is flowing down to more pages, you have even option for navigating between the pages. So this kind of options are available in case of ALV classical. I mean, this is like a list display. But if you see in the ALV grid, also you have different options. I mean, like what we have seen in the list also is available over here. The same functionality, I mean, the same icons will be available over here as well. Okay, so this is how you will be able to make use of your data to be displayed on the output. Okay, so just go through this program. Okay, as I told you already, it's a ZCR ALV reports. So I explained you about the ALV list. In the next session, I'll explain you about ALV grids and ALV blocked and hierarchical sequential ALV also. So refer to this program, and you can start practicing on your end with respect to these contents which is available in the program. You can start building up to the ALV list, and also ALV grid look similar. You can see ALV, reuse ALV grid. What I'm doing, the callback program parameter, structure name, my field catalog name, field catalog, and again, what is the other one? Data. There is nothing changed. The concept is same here. The only one difference is only the function module is different. That's it. The remaining parameters are same. The program name, the structure name, and the field catalog, and the data what you are passing, the parameters are same. Only one thing is the calling of your function module is different. That's it. In case of both this ALV list and ALV grid, only this is the difference. You will identify. But of course, there are many other parameters available. There might be new parameters available with respect to ALV grid also. But in the current example, which I'm explaining you now, we are using the same parameters as we are using for the ALV list. ALV grid also we are using the same parameters. So you can try with ALV grid example as well. So coming to the blocked ALV, that I will take you. I will walk you through this in the next session. But of course, as a program is available here, you can navigate into this section. You can see what is the code written over here, and it's a time for you to explore and understand these concepts as well. Okay, you can see what is happening in each and every block, and you can try to understand yourself. Okay. Yeah, that's about today's session on ALVs. And remember, this is very important because most of the times we always try to populate the data in the output in the ALV reports only, that too on ALV grid. Okay. Yeah. So when I execute this, okay. So one thing over here, you see this report name, no standard page heading. So this is added over here. So I will tell you what is the usage of this. If I go to my program, if you go to this attribute section, you see ALV reports is the ALV reports example on ALV reports is the title I'm giving. Now click on execute. Okay, that's fine. I'll tell you about that later. Not an issue. Yeah, that's